Before we delve into today's tale of terror, I would like you to consider joining our Patreon community or visiting our shop on eBay. Links in the comments and description.
They say there's a monster in all of us. And I say, what a load of hooey! Who comes up with this stuff? I mean, look at me. Does it look like there are monsters inside of me? That's the most preposterous.
Actually, yes.
Hey, what the? Who the hell are you?
I'm you, but stronger.
Stronger? Oh, please. That sounds so...
I am already far north of London. I enjoy walking in the streets of Petersburg. I feel a cold northern breeze play upon my cheeks. It both chills me and fills me with delight. My daydreams about reaching the North Pole are now more exciting and clear. I do not believe that the North Pole is a place of frost and emptiness. I believe it is a place of beauty and delight. Think of the wonders that await me. I will see a part of the world which has never been visited before, and walk upon a land which has never been touched by man. I am so excited that I have no fear of danger or death. I feel only joy, like a child feels when he sets out in a little boat with his friends on a stream. To think, dear sister, that I will be the first man to discover a route to the North Pacific Ocean. What knowledge I'll bring to mankind. 6 years have passed since I decided to make this journey. It has been a dream of mine since I was very young. And now, dear Margaret, do I not deserve to accomplish some great purpose? I could have spent my life in luxury, but I prefer glory instead of wealth. I will leave for the northern town of Archangel in 2 or 3 weeks. I do not intend to sail for the North Pole until the month of June. When will I return? Ah, dear sister, how can I answer this question? If I succeed, many months, perhaps years, will pass before you and I may meet again. If I fail, you will see me again soon. Or never. Farewell, my dear Margaret. May heaven shower blessings upon you. Your loving brother. The time passes slowly here, where we are surrounded by frost and snow. I have hired a ship and am busy hiring sailors. But I am lonely. I have no true friend here, no one who is courageous, intelligent, and whose tastes are like my own. Well, these are useless complaints. I will find no friend on the wide ocean. I will leave as soon as the weather improves. The winter has been terrible, but spring is expected to come early. I may sail sooner than I had hoped. I love you very much. If you never hear from me again, think of me with affection. Your loving brother. My dear sister, I am safe and have made progress on my voyage. We have already sailed to the icy north. It is the middle of summer, but of course, it is not as warm as it is in England. Goodbye, my dear Margaret. I will be careful, I promise you. But I will be successful. Why not? Nothing can stop the determined will of man. May heaven bless you. A very strange accident has happened to us. Last Monday we were almost surrounded by ice and a very thick fog. This was far too dangerous for travel, so we stopped the ship, hoping for a change in the weather. About 2 o'clock, the mist cleared away. All around us, we saw great sheets of ice that seemed to have no end. Some of the sailors groaned. Even I began to worry. Suddenly we saw a strange sight. A sled pulled by dogs was moving towards the north about a half a mile from our ship. A thing which was shaped like a man, but gigantic in size, guided the dogs. We watched the traveler with our telescopes for some time. This filled us with wonder. since we were many hundred miles from any land. We wanted to follow him, but we were shut in by the ice. Before night, the ice broke and our ship was free. We stayed where we were until the morning, however. We did not want to risk hitting those large chunks of ice in the dark. In the morning, I found all the sailors busy, on one side of the ship, talking to someone in the sea. There was a sled, like the one we had seen before, which had drifted on a slab of ice. Only one dog was alive, but there was a human being on the sled. The sailors were trying to get him to come aboard our ship. When I appeared on deck, the first mate said, "Here is our captain. He will not allow you to die on the open sea." The stranger spoke English with a foreign accent. "Before I come on board," he said, "will you kindly tell me where you are headed?" I could not believe he needed to know where we were going. If he stayed on his sled, he would die. I replied that we were on a voyage of discovery towards the North Pole. The man agreed to come on board. Good God. Margaret, if you could have seen the man who had almost refused our help, your surprise would have been endless. His limbs were nearly frozen, and he was terribly thin. I took him to my cabin to care for him. 2 days passed before he was able to speak. I've never seen a more interesting man. His eyes seem wild and sometimes crazed. But if anyone is kind to him, his whole face lights up. Most often he is depressed and miserable. When my lieutenant asked him why he had come so far on the ice, he instantly seemed sad. He replied, "To seek one who fled from me." Did this man travel in the same way? Yes. Then I believe we have seen him, said the lieutenant. The day before we picked you up, we saw some dogs pulling a sled with a man in it. The stranger became very excited. He asked questions about the route which the demon, as he called him, had taken. Later he said to me, "I know I have made you curious." "Of course," I said, "but it would be very rude to trouble you with any questions of mine." He asked if I thought the breaking up of the ice had destroyed the other sled. I replied that the ice had not broken until near midnight, and that the traveler might have reached a safe place before that time. Since then, the stranger has been filled with a new spirit of life. He wants to be on deck to watch for the other sled, but he is far too weak for this. I have promised that someone will let him know immediately if any new object appears. I said in one of my letters that I would not find a friend on the ocean. Now, I have found a man who I would be happy to call my friend. My guest has recovered from his illness. He is constantly on the deck, watching for the other sled. We often talk about my dreams and goals. I told him that I would give up my money and my life to complete this voyage. I told him I believe that one man's life is a small price to pay for knowledge and power. "Unhappy man," the stranger said in horror. "Do you share my madness? Have you drunk of the same poison? Let me share my tale with you. You will knock that cup from your lips." But he was weak from this outburst and could not go on. Later he said, "But we are different. You have hope and the world before you. But I have lost everything and cannot begin life anew." Yesterday, the stranger said to me, "I had decided that my memories should die with me, but you have convinced me to change my mind. I see that you are about to suffer the same dangers. I think that you may learn a lesson from my tale. It may help you if you succeed on your voyage, or it may comfort you if you fail. Prepare to hear about strange events." He then told me that he would begin his story the next day. I have decided, dear Margaret, to write down in the evenings what he has told me. I am sure that this manuscript will give you great pleasure. and I will read it with great interest on some future day. How strange and disturbing must be his story. Dearest Margaret, as I prepare to send you these letters detailing the astonishing account, I am struck by the vast darkness that often pervades our world. It seems that negativity surrounds us at every turn, much like the icy waters of the Arctic. Yet, amidst this gloom, there are beacons of light. One such haven is Super Horror Show on YouTube, where tales of mystery and wonder come to life through animated storytelling. To keep this beacon shining brightly, we rely on the support of viewers like you. If you too wish to help sustain this place of creativity and wonder, please consider supporting us on Patreon or visiting our shop on eBay. Links are provided in the comments and description.